What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Coexisting with Rob and Maggie. It is Friday, October 6th, 2023. We are live the day before WWE Fastlane. But as we start every show, Maggie, how are you?
Hi Rob, I'm doing pretty good. I actually ate some proper food today at work.
Nice.
And I'll tell you why. Like a couple of days ago, like we were chatting with a regular in the bar, and there were a lot of friends around. And he was telling some sort of story, which like he needed to mention the year he was born in. And I'm like, oh, you were born the same year I'm born. And he was like, really? I thought you were older.
Oof.
And I was like, excuse me?
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, he had to do some damage control.
Yeah.
And today he came into the bar and he was like, yeah, hi, Maggie. And he's like almost like giving me something from a distance just so I don't, bite his hands off. And I was like, what is this? And he was like, that's for you, bye. I got to go to work. And he went to work. And I'm like, I open up the box and it's like homemade fried chicken.
Ooh.
Mashed potatoes made from scratch, cucumbers and cherry tomatoes, and I was like, okay. I feel like he did good. Yeah, he corrected all the crap that he said about my age, and everything, and it was some of the best food I've eaten all year. And that's saying something. Like I don't cook. I'd never learned how to cook. I can like make some food that I'm incredibly anal about, like pasta, noodles, pizza, and like etc. Noodles.
Yeah.
I'm like in sandwiches and toasters and salad soups and like stuff like that. But like proper food, I have no idea how to do that. Yeah, so that was a really nice thing, and I texted his sister, and I was like, "Yeah, so your brother brought me food, so I'm gonna have to marry him." Like, I'm sorry, like, nice. Yeah. So, yeah, and that's pretty much why I'm so sleepy right now, because I ate really wonderful food, and my body is like, "Yeah, okay, that's some good stuff. Now let's go to bed now." Well, yeah, but like we have a pretty stacked show for you guys today. So do us a favor and please like the video, hit that thumbs up. Also send a super chat and or a humper chat at humperchats.com. We're going to stay tonight like as much time as we can because we have like a bunch of stuff we need to talk about.
Yeah, Tony Khan said we got as long as we need.
Yeah, also Nick Khan. Like also that guy. Yeah. Also subscribe to Fightful Select. I suppose at some point Sean will post the full story that he's aware of, the CM Punk situation, everything that he knows. At some point he will post that. Like this is the most accurate news source that you can gather information from. So you might as well put your $5 into it. Or now, like Fightful Select has an yearly subscription. If you want to subscribe for a full year, you'll save about a month or about 2 months if you subscribe for a full year. So go ahead and do that. Also, please send us your money because we're poor. Let's get into it.
Yeah. What we do have a super chat.
What in the mother of crap is going on Twitter?
Yeah, we'll get into that here in just a second. But we have a super chat from our good friend Ryan Sullivan. He says, "Happy Friday to the magnificent mustachioed man and the bodacious Bulgarian beauty from the ridiculously ravishing Ryan." All right.
You are.
Yeah.
You are ridiculously ravishing Ryan. And I am so mad at you that you didn't dance for the video that we had. All of us. Almost all. You didn't dance too.
Nope. So like you always tell stories about like something at the beginning of the show. So I'll tell something that I did. This what happened today and how I embarrassed myself. So here in Minnesota, it's about to become hunting season, and
Wabbits?
hunting, like people hunting wabbit season. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
But no, they're like hunting for deer and whatever.
Okay. Bambi's
Anyways,
mom. Okay.
so this guy that I haven't seen in forever, we're just chit chatting in line. He goes, "Are you a hunter?" I go, "Nah, just kind of MILF hunter." Without a beat, that's what I said. And I'm like,
Oh, Rob, no.
yeah. And he goes, "Well, you haven't changed." I'm like, yeah. And I did that without a beat.
Some
Like,
things
just
never
boom. Some
change.
things never change. So yeah.
Rob,
But what
sweetie.
killed it was the lady in front of me just turned right around and just gave me like the evil like look. And this lady had to be like in her, I'm not gonna guess her age, but she was older than me, and she knew exactly what I meant when I said that. And yep.
I know. I understand.
So yeah, that was good. But I'm happy. I thought it was funny, and I got at least one laugh, so that's all that matters. Anyways,
I'm happy about the lady giving you her look.
yeah, I was hoping she was like open for the. Never mind.
Okay, let's
Anyways.
move on.
Anyways, yeah. So, like you said, CM Punk, these rumors, stuff. Sean's gonna have a report here on Fightful Select in a little bit, but Dave Meltzer said that CM Punk's talking to WWE, and sounds like something might happen. We're not sure yet, obviously. When Sean says something, I'm more likely to start getting on board with it. Don't get me wrong, Dave Meltzer is a trusted source. It's just when you work for
Sean pays
you work for and work with Sean, you just kind of go that route. So once we know more, we'll talk more. But it's been an exciting week with everything going on. Usually we don't start off with the SmackDown like preview, but we will this week because it's going to go right into Fastlane.
Get into CM Punk talk at all?
Well, yeah, we can. I was just going to say, like, what do you think about this? I know the one thing I text you when like today, I go, well, there's one positive. This might get us closer to AJ Lee returning.
Yeah. But like, don't you think if she wanted to return to wrestling, she would have done it in AEW? Or because like he was there, like I have no idea if this was even discussed, like at all. Like I have no idea if this was ever a thing. But I would understand if she never did want to go to AEW, because like I've made it perfectly clear on this show that the booking of AEW's women division, like it can go for a lot of work. But even if AJ Lee went there to help that, like not be an in-ring competitor, but to help with booking and developing talent, and a coach even if you want that. But the funny thing is, if AJ Lee is there, I'm gonna rant a lot if she's not wrestling. That's yeah. But I will never not hope for AJ Lee to return to the ring, but only and if this is the thing that she wants to do.
Yeah.
I always kind of feel like wrestlers come back and return to wrestling because they want to and not because they need the money. Because I'm pretty sure AJ Lee doesn't need the money. Like she's a best-selling author. She really doesn't. But you kind of think, with all the strikes going on. Did they end, by the way? I'm not, like, I have
the
no
actor
idea.
strike, it hasn't ended, but I know there's like, there's companies that are working with the actors unions, like that are paying like extra to make it available where they can work, because they're paying.
Okay.
So there's some that are working and some aren't. So
And some aren't. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's that with AJ Lee, but CM Punk, because like I can see a lot of talk on Twitter or X or whatever. Like people are saying, oh, like they're gonna hire him out of spite. I feel like WWE always wanted him back, but he didn't want to. But now that he does, why not hire him? Because yeah, like of course that's something you would do. Like imagine all the buzz that they're about to, if he is returning to WWE, of course. Imagine all the buzz, like everything, because there are a lot of hardcore WWE fans that did not tune into AEW like at all because like they didn't like the company, and now they're gonna tune in even more to WWE because he's gonna trash that on the microphone. He is, and I don't care. I'll be there for it. Like it's like I don't, because you would assume that Punk is gonna behave a lot more in that locker room than he did in AEW because it's a different thing. I've made a point on the show about it, like at length, because Tony Khan wanted to cultivate a locker room, when people are where people are family, and that does not work when you are working with people like that. That's not a thing to do. While the locker room in WWE is way more, professional, and people may not agree with me, but that's how I see it because it kind of looks that way. But CM Punk returning, okay. Can you just imagine if CM Punk returns and he headlines WrestleMania and is the one to dethrone Roman and not Cody? I will die, and we're gonna have to create a fund for a huge amount of chocolate to be sent to Steven Jensen, because this will be just absolutely heartbreaking, because not only is Cody Rhodes Steven Jensen's absolutely favorite wrestler, but he really doesn't like CM Punk. And if this happens, Jesus, I don't know. Let us know what you guys think. But this is because the Survivor Series is in Chicago, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What is your percentage?
I give it 75% that CM Punk shows up.
75%. Okay, I'm 65. Because there's always some doubt.
Well,
like 75 is a lot.
In honor of Kate, I'll meet you halfway. Let's go 69%.
69%. There you go, Kate. We love you, sweetie. Jesus. Yeah. If we do see that, that will be so.
We got a super chat from Chris who just wrote who got to interview Edge, or excuse me, Adam Copeland.
I'm going to be doing that a lot.
Yeah, Adam Copeland. Hey, Chris, does he still have you blocked on X, aka Twitter? I'm very curious to know that.
Yeah, did you guys talk about that? Because imagine one day I interview Frankie Kazarian and I'm like, hey, do you mind unblocking me?
I just want to say, yeah, I think he. I know some people. Chris says yes, he's still blocked. Or maybe they did not talk about it. What's wrong with you, Chris? Anyways, I did want to say I saw some people said, well, why would WWE bring him back? He sued them. First off, there's been a lot of people that WWE's been sued by that have brought them back into the fold. Jesse Ventura, Bruno Sammartino, Sable, Brock Lesnar has sued him. Dawn Marie has sued him. I don't think Dawn Marie's been back, but that's just because she don't want to come back. But Bruno, like I said, Bruno Sammartino, Ultimate Warrior, has sued him. Like, that's a thing. It's a business. Vince McMahon, Triple H, UFC, whatever, Knockout, or whatever they call themselves now. What do they call themselves now? TKO. That's it. Whatever they're gonna do what's best to make them money. And CM Punk brings the money. CM Punk's already involved with that company because he does a UFC commentary for their. It's not necessarily UFC fighting. It's one of the shows that they do under their like streaming platform, I believe. So,
Mhm.
you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I think he'll be back. But let's move on to our prediction show. Are you ready?
Do you not want us to do the SmackDown preview first?
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I got excited. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso will show up, and
Jey Uso back to SmackDown for the first time ever since he quit.
Yep. Yeah, they're gonna have their little face off with Finn Balor and Damian Priest ahead of WWE Fastlane. You have Asuka and Charlotte Flair to take on Damage Control. Dragon Lee going one-on-one with Austin Theory. Rey Mysterio goes one-on-one with Bob Lashley. John Cena will appear along with LA Knight. So there you go.
Yeah, basically it's gonna be a proper go home show. It like the only by proper I mean WWE proper. Like nothing of substance will ever happen. The only thing I'm curious to see is the Jimmy and Jey Uso, because like will Jimmy be there?
I assume.
Yeah, I assume that Jimmy will be there. This is what I'm mostly looking forward to. Also, LA Knight, because I like LA Knight. So yeah.
So now we will go to WWE Fastlane predictions. So earlier this week, PWI Mike Johnson, our Pro Wrestling Insiders Mike Johnson, said that Jade Cargill will be at Fastlane. What are your thoughts on this?
It's okay for her to be at Fastlane because you would assume that your new major signing will be. These are my thoughts. Like I'm not saying like I'm not saying that that I think that she will or will not be on the show. I feel like, of course, she'll be backstage, interacting with her future, employees and co-workers or whatever. My thoughts is that she will be in NXT first. I kind of feel like putting her directly on the main roster, I don't think that's the way to do it. And this isn't me saying, "Oh, she's great. She needs to work in, the performance center." No, like I feel like she needs to get the reps in. I feel like she needs to, because there are like a lot of women in NXT that she can go through, build a legitimate name for herself in WWE, and I'm not saying like stay in NXT a lot. No, like debut on the Rumble.
Sorry. What I think is going to happen.
What?
This is what I think is going to happen. And this is just my prediction since we're going into it. Jade Cargill, I think, is going to be a face in the company because she's already been a heel for like ever in AEW. They want her to be very popular. I think this is what I would do. I think she's actually going to help Jay and Cody win at Fastlane, and we will see a mixed tag team match with Jade and Cody versus Rhea and somebody at NXT this week. I think we're going to see it. That's what I think they're going to do.
Dominic?
Maybe Dominic. Maybe it can be anybody. But that's, I think, what's going to happen. I think we're going to get a mixed tag team match. And that's one thing. I'm always wrong. So with my predictions, so don't go to the bank with that. That's just what I would do.
Yeah. Well, this is what I mentioned to you because like Jeremy is one of the best in this. That ending your next NXT weekly show, which is going right head to head with Dynamite, like ending that show with Cody Rhodes and Jade, like winning a match, holding each other's hands up. Like this is the way to counter program AEW. Like this is the way, okay?
Yeah. And we have a super chat from Chris. He says Jade should debut by interrupting Cody again. LMAO.
Yeah, but like at that point, you gotta get in like Brandy, and I don't want her to. Who the hell told you it was open mic night?
That would be funny if she just came out of nowhere. It just said that and then turned around and walked away.
And then Shaquille O'Neal had to come. No,
yeah.
Like don't play that back. Like this, these are the mistakes that you don't want to make. That AEW did. Like learn from the other company and like just so you know what not to do. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. If Jade debuts, fine, that's perfectly okay. But like, I would have her on NXT. Like, she can come out, and then she can be like, "I'm gonna go through the entire NXT roster, and then I'm gonna come back for you, bitch."
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's been reported that she's going to Raw, so I mean, and that's PW Insider too. But you never know; things change. But since we're already talking about that match, and I already gave my prediction for that match just now, who do you have winning? Between Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso taking on the Judgment
Finn
Days.
Balor and Damian Priest and Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. No, like Finn Balor and Damian Priest should retain those championships. And this, okay, so I did a prediction show for Fastlane on True Heel Heat with SP3 on Wednesday. This match, let me do this right. I don't give a fuck.
Wow.
I don't care. I feel like I've seen this 1,000 times, yet I haven't. I really haven't, because Cody Rhodes and Jay, this is their first time tagging Raw. They were never in a match together as a tag team, yet somehow they're challenging for the tag team championships. Tell me how this is okay. And also, this is on the same company that just had a Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano reuniting on Raw. We're going to talk about it later. But out of from the top of my head, I feel like there are 0 tag teams in WWE right now. And then when we got to talking with SP3, they were like, well, actually, no, there are like a lot of tag teams on that roster. But like, this is what happens when you nuke your tag team division by splitting up the biggest and best tag team probably in the world, in your company by far, in the world probably, the Usos. That has yet to make any sense to me, by the way, like the splitting up of the Usos. And I just could not be arsed to care about this match. I so do not give a crap, because I don't care who wins those. Those are the titles that main evented night 1 of WrestleMania. And now they're being defended in a match that is thrown together, that does not make any sense, with a team that has never existed before this match. This is kind of insulting to each and every tag team that is currently on that roster. I'm so ashamed of myself for going so into lengths about the match that I could wipe my ass with. Because like, no, I just don't give a crap. Like, this is stupid. Like, why is this a thing?
I don't know. It
like
just
people,
is what it is.
I love all the people in this match, and I don't care. Like, what does that tell you? I'm sorry for being so negative, but I'm just so pissed off.
I get it. And
this is the reason I'm going to be even more pissed off if Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso win back those championships. Because if it turns out that The first ever championship gold that Cody Rhodes gets when he comes back is tag team gold. Like, what the actual fuck?
I get that. I understand. Yeah. So it sounds like, well, who do you have winning? It sounds like you
Judgment
want.
Day.
Okay, you do have Judgment
Please,
Day. Okay.
Judgment Day.
Okay,
It will
so-
make no sense. Like,
Gotcha.
JD McDonald is like can get involved if he wants to.
Yeah.
This is probably the first time I'm going to root for him. Okay.
JD don't Google
McDonald,
me.
yeah.
All right. We have the WWE Women's Championship. Io Sky taking on Asuka and Charlotte Flair triple threat match. Who do you got winning this one?
Okay, so Charlotte Flair is in this match, so she probably has a 90% chance of winning.
Which spells trouble for her at Sacrifice.
Yeah, absolutely. So Asuka's not winning. She's not winning. Okay. So it's either Io Sky or Charlotte Flair. The thing is that Bayley can cost Io Sky the championship accidentally. And then Io Sky and Bayley can have that match with Dakota Kai in the middle playing Peacekeeper. But I really don't want this to happen. I feel like Io just won that championship and she really didn't. Like, she's had it for quite some time. They just don't do anything with her because it's WWE and it's Joshi wrestlers. I feel like that's the formula there.
Yeah.
I will risk it and go with Io Sky, although my brain is shouting Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah, I know. And when she's in a title match, it's higher than a 50% chance just because automatically, but I think Io Sky gets it. That's just what I'm going with. So we move on from that match to the LWO Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, Cruz del. I don't know if they said if it was Cruz del Toro or Joaquin Wilde who's gonna take this final spot, but
yeah, none of them. Like they were injured, and it's probably gonna be it's probably gonna be Dragon Lee. I'm almost sure that it's gonna be Dragon Lee.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because there was a reason why he was in the audience. Okay.
That makes sense. Good point. Good point, Maggie. Taking on Bobby.
I know you hate when that makes sense. I'm sorry.
No, I don't. I think it's good for the show because we need one person to make sense on here. And I prefer it to be you. Taking on Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
I'm sorry. This is Alex and Kate's fault. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but like every week when they do the NXT post show, they do a lot of puns, and they did go figure, they did breast puns. Like I couldn't I can't remember the context, and one of the people sent a super chat that said "Booby Lashley," and now I cannot unhear it. And every time someone says Bobby Lashley, and I'm like,
I'm okay with it. They always catch my attention, so why not? So who you got winning this?
Well, if Dragon Lee is a part of this match, I would like for LW to win, because if they give Dragon Lee one more loss, I feel like I'm gonna have to hurt myself. Because
okay, well, don't do that.
Yeah, I won't. But like it's just unfair because like giving. Like, this is probably going to be the same run that I did, like, last week. Giving an amazing wrestler so many chances and, them losing all the time is a brilliant way to tell us that here's this amazing guy, please never care for him. Like, that's... I don't want that to happen with Dragon Lee, because I actually like Dragon Lee, which is something that you would never think if you've seen my rant from last week. And like it had nothing to do with Dragon Lee. It was all me, not agreeing with NXT / main roster WWE booking. Like, that's it.
Okay. So it sounds like you want LWO.
LWO if Dragon Lee is a part of that.
Okay.
But the thing is, listen, if Bobby Lashley, and this is another thing that did not make any sense to me, because like Bobby Lashley, he said to the Street Profits, you need to fess up, because like you're losing, and I'm not impressed. And they're like, yeah, okay, like we're proving ourselves to you. And then they attacked two people that just had an amazing match together, and it was really good. They gave that match time for the United States Championship, Santos and Rey Mysterio. So like it was an amazing match. I'm so glad that they're giving to luchadors, their time, because they haven't been for years. So like they're making amends now. And then after the match, Street Profits came out and attacked them both. And then Bobby Lashley came from backstage and he was like all excited and happy and pleased. And I'm like, why are you pleased? Like, what does this please you? Like, you're telling the Street Profits that you're not pleased because they're losing. And now you're happy with them attacking people who were already hurt. Like, how is this impressive to you? Like, what does this impress you? So, if they lose, like probably one of the Street Profits has to get, pinned in order to further the storyline between him and Bobby Lashley. But like, I feel like they just got together. Like, you can get Cedric Alexander in there. Why are you laughing?
I just saw the super chat that just came in. That's all.
You can put Cedric Alexander in there, because like there's Shelton Benjamin isn't there anymore. But like you can do a backstage segment with Cedric Alexander being, hey dude, like what are you doing? Like, I'm right here. Like, why didn't you? And then you go, with other people, and like I just don't get it. I feel like this situation is lose-lose situation, because one of those teams has your United States Championship, and they've been protecting Rey Mysterio a lot. Santos Escobar is amazing, and I just want them to elevate him as much as they can. And Santos Escobar and Bobby Lashley are gonna have an amazing match together.
Bobby,
yeah. Bob Lashley. They're gonna have an amazing match together regardless. So I have no idea which direction to go. LWO if it's Dragon Lee, but like I don't want to see Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits lose unless this is to further their storyline.
All right. So I think there's two storylines that are going to happen here. But the Bobby Lashley and Street Profits are going to win. I think we're going to see Santos Escobar finally turn on Rey Mysterio. And I think Dragon Lee is going to end up joining LWO.
Ooh.
So I think...
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. So I think that's where we're headed.
So can you keep making good points while I go pull myself some water?
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's all I got, bud. We'll play that music while Maggie's gone. We got a... Yeah, just kidding. We got a super chat from our good friend, Mr. D-Lo Diggs. He says, hi, just got here. Oof, that stash, get those. Okay. Thank you, my friend. I hope you are well. So, yeah. But, I mean, that's what I would do. Granted, when I book, nothing happens. So there you go. So that's how it goes. I'm not the...
No, I really liked your idea. That was some good S word, pal.
Yeah, I don't have the Joel Pearl way of thinking. Nothing.
No, Joe Portal always wants, bad things to happen to good people.
Yeah,
so
but he at least predicts stuff that happens, and I really don't.
Well, he's good at what he does. Like
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we move on to the main event now.
Yeah, we have John Cena and LA Knight.
Oh
versus
yeah, yep.
The
I was sorry.
Bloodline.
Yep. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. That's probably gonna main event.
Yeah. So World Heavyweight Championship, last man standing match: Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Congratulations to Seth Rollins. I know, Maggie, you were watching with anticipation last night. His Chicago Bears won, so he loves football.
Yeah, I totally know what you're talking about.
I know. I know you were waiting for the tweet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Seth Rollins. I like that Shinsuke's getting a title shot, and I actually would be perfectly fine with him winning. I would be, because I like Shinsuke a lot. But Seth Rollins is going to get the victory here. They're going to keep this title on him. What do you think?
I really don't understand this match at all, because, and this isn't just me. I'm a huge mark for Seth Rollins. I adore the guy. I like Shinsuke Nakamura probably equal amount. I'm angry that Shinsuke Nakamura hasn't been a proper champion at all. Like he was champion, and I keep forgetting that he was a tag team champion with Cesaro. Like this is something that always, like disappears out of my mind like all the time. And they were really good together. Like they were SmackDown tag team champions. I don't understand. I really don't. Nakamura, like, I feel like this hasn't been working on the main roster like at all with Nakamura, because like all I can remember is his more than unsatisfactory feud with AJ Styles when there was a lot of dickhole punching, and yeah, I'm sorry. Like
No,
I'm not
fine.
sorry.
I just
And it's just a bit disappointing, isn't it? And like I feel like they're doing the best work that they can with him right now, with those vignettes and everything. Him losing here, what do you do with him after that?
I don't know.
Like where do you go from this? And it's a real pity, because if this is just him saying, "Hey guys, like I want to do a program and then I'm gonna go surf for the rest of the year and everything," like that sucks like a lot. They're gonna have an amazing match together. Like their previous one was a banger. This one, like last man standing matches, they're probably one of my least favorite kind of matches because they're kind of boring. They really are. I know that Seth Rollins has a tendency to prove me wrong all the time, and I'm welcome to see that. I'll be more than excited to see this match, because I feel like they're gonna prove a point. Because like the thing that we said, I don't feel like this is gonna main event, because John Cena is on the show, and I'm pretty sure, and the Bloodline is involved, so I'm pretty sure that the last match that we're gonna talk about is gonna be the main event. So this just furthers more and more the storyline of Seth Rollins mentioning in interviews immensely and all the time how he's held championships, all the championships in WWE, and he was never the guy. And this is exactly what will happen here, because he will once again not be in the main event of a show. And I'm just bummed out for both of them, because Seth.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Seth is doing his best work right now. Shinsuke Nakamura is awesome, and regardless who wins, do you think we get a cash in?
Well, that's what I was actually going to bring up. I honestly think that this could main event. And I think that the last thing I want to happen is I don't want Shinsuke to win and then there be a cash in, because I don't want there to be.
This is gonna happen if there is a cash in.
Yeah, I don't want that. I would rather Seth win and then the cash in. But I want, if there is a cash in, I want it to be I want it to be the main event. Because
sure.
that's how it should go off the screen, with Damian Priest celebrating. That's what I would do.
So you're saying that it will be a successful cash in?
Yeah, it would be successful if there's a cash in. They're not going to let Damian Priest lose that.
I feel like Damian Priest will do that after, when they lose those tag team championships, because he was like, well, I need some gold.
It's possible. That's a good point. That's good. I didn't think of that.
So if they lose those championships, expect the cash in.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well played. So right now I'm leaning towards Seth Rollins. So I think Seth will retain.
I'm also leaning to Seth Rollins. Like he's probably one of my favorites right now ever. And
okay, so what percentage would you say then that Shinsuke leaves Indianapolis with that title?
Percentage of Nakamura winning and like keep having the championship?
Yeah, sure. Let's go that route.
20.
Okay, and then the chances of Damian Priest leaving with the title.
5.
Really? Okay. I give it about a 30% chance.
I don't know. I feel like they're like, I don't know if this is an important pay-per-view for them. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I don't know.
Because if they treat all their pay-per-views as must-watch pay-per-views, fine. I'm gonna be like, oh, what if he cashes in? But like, I'm pretty sure that they see like their pay-per-views as, this is a pay-per-view, this is a B pay-per-view, and them not like, putting awesome matches on B pay-per-views, but like nothing actually, furthering the storyline happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know one thing. They're glad that they are very glad this show's on Saturday night instead of Sunday, because Sunday night's football game on NBC is going to be a big ratings hit. So if they were on peak, it's the Dallas Cowboys or San Francisco 49ers, two really good teams right now. So
they're good teams? Well, I've never heard of them. I'm kidding. I have.
No. Okay. So let's go with John Cena and LA Knight taking on the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa and Jim Uso.
Okay. John Cena and LA Knight are not losing here.
Nope, they're not. Jimmy Uso is going to take this pin. Jimmy Uso is going to take this pin. So this is me fantasy booking here. What I want to see happen is AJ Styles cost the Bloodline the match. That's what I want to happen. Will it happen? No. But that's what I want to happen, because I was hoping it would set up AJ versus Seth, or AJ versus Roman at the whatever pay-per-view they call that in November, whatever the one that elimination. Series? No, the one in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, the Saudi show.
Yeah, the Saudi show. Whatever one they're calling it. That's what I would hope for. But yeah, either way, John Cena and LA Knight are going to win this.
LA Knight.
Yeah,
John Cena and LA Knight, of course.
We got Bonker saying Bloodline will win. Let us know in chat who you guys have. We got one person says Bloodline.
Fine.
Yeah, I just think Cena will win.
It's not Sands of Time.
Crown Jewel. That's it. Thank you. I swear it seems like it changes every freaking time, but
I know.
all right. So yeah. So what match are you looking forward to the most?
The match I'm looking forward to the most. Huh.
Mine's Judgment Day versus Cody and Jay.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm just very curious to see what way they go. I really am.
I'm sorry.
From a story
Oh,
standpoint.
What story?
Well, true. Well, from the Judgment Day standpoint, because I'm curious to see, because I think you're right. If they lose those titles, I think Damien's going after that title, that heavyweight title.
Mhm.
So, and then I'm just kind of curious to see if we're going to get a Cody and Jay feud, maybe. Who knows? I don't know.
It's just getting a bit too overbooked for me. And the only overbooked I want is on Fightful, okay? So like that's
Fightful.com / Fightful overbooked. All right. Yeah. So what match?
Probably Seth and Nakamura.
All right.
I'm sure that the 3-way for the women's title is gonna rock like a lot. I know that people are crapping on Charlotte a lot because she's getting opportunities. She's good at what she does, okay, and she has that thing where she gives everyone their best match ever. I'm looking forward to that match, not the income, not the outcome of the match. So probably, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Seth in the women's match. Seth Nakamura in the women's match.
Well, thank you for watching, Joshua. We appreciate you.
Thank you, sweetie. Sending our best to Nigeria. This is so cool.
So anyways, Peacock tomorrow night network for WWE Fastlane in Indianapolis at the Gamebridge Fieldhouse at 7 o'clock Eastern. So anyways, No Mercy last week. What do you think of that show? I thought it was a fantastic show. One of the best NXT shows that we've seen in a long time.
Well, NXT shows, pay-per-views are great every time. We always fail to mention that because they kind of get lost in the shuffle a lot, and I feel like they're always on a weekend that there's also something else. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like they always get lost in the shuffle, which is something that I don't want to see because you saw yourself how wonderful this show was. Absolutely every match delivered, and that's putting it mildly. I was so yeah, they absolutely will. They absolutely will. I was so amazed at absolutely everything. Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov. Oh my god.
That was such each other.
Yeah, they beat the hell out of each other. And every time when we talk about a match with Ilya Dragunov, I will tell you that I never want to be ever a referee in a match with Ilya Dragunov. Do you have any small cups in your house? You're muted.
No, this one I got at the store today because it was.
Yeah, but do you get any small cups? Okay.
There you go.
You Americans in your red party cups. This is so weird.
Hey, Street Profits,
yeah. Sweet. So
I'm going back to my water now.
Yeah, thank you. So every time a match with Ilya Dragunov, Jesus, because if you're refereeing this match and he shouts at you all the time and he's so emotional and in so much pain, but he doesn't care for whatever reason, no, I will just cry and just go, okay, 3. There you go. You win the match now. Please shut up. Here's some tea. And I'm This was so good. And then Tiffany Stratton and Becky Lynch, just women's wrestling, okay? I cried. And you would, if you watch carefully, because I watched really carefully the Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton match. For one reason, okay, a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons why I watched really carefully was because I'm just a normal watcher of wrestling, I'm not someone that is into the moves and how this move is properly executed and whatever. Like, I'm not an analysis on the things that happening in the ring and during the match. I'm just enjoying the match. But I really wanted to pay attention, just so if I can see details in Becky showing Tiffany, the way. I'm sorry for the Mandalorian pun, but it's you can see Becky helping Tiffany so much, and I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm putting over the match a lot, and you can see just how incredibly professional Becky Lynch is in this match. I was so impressed with absolutely everything, and Tiffany, she's been doing this for not long. And she is so damn good. She's just a natural. She's an absolute natural. And I am just so glad that we came from my daddy gave me money and I wanted to do this. So here's me and everything. I'm so glad that we went from this to this right now, because being put over by the woman in your company just has to be telling, right?
Yeah.
And I was just, if you're happy after you finished a pay-per-view, that's how you know that it's done right. And I was happy after watching this match.
Yeah.
We've been talking on stream with people who have been saying that NXT is the show to watch right now. And I'm getting the hiccups, I'm sorry.
No problem.
And we haven't been talking as much about NXT, because most of the time it pisses me off, but it doesn't mean that the programs aren't worth giving a shot.
Yeah.
And
hit that premature video.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's absolutely fine. And Noam Dar and Pete Dunne was also one of the matches that delivered. I wasn't happy with the end result, I'm not gonna lie.
No.
But the match was good. You cannot deny that. Baron Corbin beating Braun Breaker absolutely hit me out of nowhere, because I was pretty sure that it was going to be the other way around. And I know that you were happy because you wanted it for Baron Corbin to win. So I was yeah, well, okay, but Rob's happy.
Yeah, I was good. I was happy. I was like, hey, look at that.
Yeah,
because we know Shawn Michaels watches this show, so
yeah, that's right.
This is what he's doing right now.
Yeah, I'm sure. He has nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I was really surprised that Trick Williams won the North American Championship. I was even more surprised this Tuesday, Rob. But we're gonna talk about it, at after that, or we can talk about it now. Do you want us to talk about it now?
Sure, we can.
Yeah, sure we can. Okay, so why the fuck did that happen?
I have no idea. No earthly idea why that happened. It made zero sense now to me, but I mean, whatever. I mean, that's really all I can say. Whatever. Because
what do you mean, whatever? If they need to imply that he lost that championship because mommy wasn't there to cheer him on, and now that she was, I don't know, what, why, Rob? This This is annoying. This is kind of. And this is because when Trick Williams won that championship, I was like, okay, I was almost sure that Cody was winning that. And then I was like, yeah, okay, but like Cody's not gonna win that. And then he wins it back, and I'm like, did you hear my?
I heard something.
Yeah, okay. Let me just. Jesus. So yeah, so this made zero sense to me. I'm just like, why? Why? I'm gonna need an explanation about this, and like a proper one, a proper explanation why they did that championship dirty. Did they give us, a feel good moment on the pay-per-view? Was
Well,
that
I mean, that's the only reason I think they might have gone that route was to like you said, to make it look like that
Rhea
Dominic
not being
needed
their costume?
Dominic
Yeah,
needed
okay.
Rhea. The other thing is they needed it to set up the Carmelo and Trick eventual feud that I think is going to happen, because we saw.
Well, the feud's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah,
The
we
feud's
did
gonna
see
happen
Carmelo
regardless.
give like the eye, like that evil like look to the belt. Like you saw him like just stare at that belt for a split second. You know what he was thinking. He was like, "That's mine," So that's where I went with it. So I think that was it. We know Dominic's going to lose it again soon. He just is.
Is he though?
Yeah, he will.
How long did he have it previously?
Oh, geez, I don't remember.
I feel like it was a while ago, because like when my grandmother was here, and she was like, "Oh, the main character."
I can look to see when he won it, but
Yes, please.
Yeah, I just think they did it. I didn't care for him changing it like that, but I get it, I guess, so.
I really don't. I'm glad that you do, but like it's been, it's.
Yeah.
I just really don't get it.
He won it on July 18th.
Okay.
So
like that's a while ago.
Yeah, 2 months, a little over 2 months. So, yeah. But yeah, like as far as like matches, Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes stole the show for me. Tiffany Stratton and Becky Lynch.
They absolutely did. They absolutely did. But like, I will always get emotional when women are main eventing. And when Becky's one of those women, also like that's forever engraved in my heart, Becky. So like, yeah.
Alrighty. Ready for Cooper Effect?
Yeah. Yeah, so you're randomly throwing that on on screen.
I did it early. Sorry.
I know. That's so great.
But look at the pretty bear.
Yeah, that's a pretty bear. It's a really Paddington bear. So apparently zoos are welcoming the Paddington bears for breeding programs to help save the species from extinction. Yeah, so they brought in this like this amazing ball of fur called Oberon. They brought it into a zoo to hopefully, hit it off with with a 3-year-old Pacha. That's what she's called. Her name is Pacha. And the zookeepers hope that they, this ends up saving them from extinction, which is also always a wonderful thing. Why have I never heard of Paddington bears before? Like, I know that you guys have a book, or what was it called?
Oh, there's a there's a book, but it's based out of the UK, I believe, Paddington Bear. But
yeah, Paddington Bear, yeah.
yeah, and they did a movie on it.
Yeah,
and there's
sure.
a great
Like,
Twitter
why?
account too. That the guy will he adds Paddington Bear to like different like photos, like photoshops. Just fantastic.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
I'll find it while you're talking.
yeah, please. Yeah, this is fitting because they're almost extinct. Obviously, that's why I've never heard of them. Also, I'm not that smart. But it's absolutely adorable, and you guys will know that we're always gonna root for animals not disappearing, and probably we need to, if I have to be honest. So yeah, so there about this.
Yeah, he's awesome. Or that's awesome story rather.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love animals. We talk about it all the time.
More than people.
So yeah, we do. So Raw took place.
Thoughts on Raw?
Yep, on to Raw. Raw took place on October 2nd at the SAP Center in San Jose, California on Monday. And I mean, the one thing I wanted to talk about was like the show started just like chaotic, and I liked how Rhea just got there and just kind of you could just see how pissed off she was. I absolutely loved it. I just love seeing Rhea Ripley so
she
pissed
was
off.
pissed off. She was so pissed off, and I enjoyed that too because, like, why wouldn't you be? Like, because this woman came back and just started, destroying everyone, and that's her job. That's Rhea's job. That's what she's been doing for a long time now. And all of a sudden, Nia Jax comes back, and like she's, the big boss figure and everything. Like she's not gonna do that. And
yeah,
is Nia Jax gonna dethrone Rhea Ripley?
God no. God no.
Okay, so then why did they bring her back?
Because they hate people. No, I don't. I don't know, but they didn't. She's not going to be the one that dethrones her.
Yeah, okay. Because like all of us are hoping that we're gonna get Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, right? What if none of this happens?
That or yeah, I mean, I think you're pretty much spot on right there. I think it's going to be Rhea versus Becky, or it's going to be Becky versus.
Okay, then give me the purpose of Nia Jax being back in WWE.
I
Tell
honestly
me
couldn't
why.
tell you. I couldn't tell you. I don't really know. And that's not me taking a shot at Nia. I don't have any idea what the purpose is.
This isn't me taking a shot.
Maybe
either.
Somebody in chat can tell us what the purpose
is.
is. I'm not trying to be mean. I just don't know what the hell.
No, none of us are. We're not trying to be mean, but like I'm legitimately gonna need a reason for that. Really, I'm up. But other than people booing her a lot, like I don't know, she just keeps saying squashed a lot and everything. Like that's the only thing that she's been doing, and sitting on people, which I know is okay for for certain people, but like that's not okay for me. I like the fact that Rhea Ripley, wanted explanation out of the entire Judgment Day for everything that's happened when she wasn't around. I like that because this just cements her position as probably the leader of Judgment Day, and I'm totally fine with that.
And that's fine. I mean, but I don't know. Like, let's see what somebody in chat says.
With her, I mean, like, we missed you. Oh, yeah. Like, Rhea likes you. She does.
I don't. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. I know Vince likes people. He likes watching people destroy people. You know what I mean? Like,
I get that. I understand that, but like Rhea Ripley's been doing that a lot. Like, what is the purpose of Nia?
yeah. Sean says, "Why can't someone other than Becky face Rhea at Mania? We need a new Rumble winner like Liv." Well, I mean, Becky.
Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley have had a match together.
Yeah, Becky hasn't faced Rhea, has she? Like,
Becky has never faced Rhea.
yeah.
Like they started that whole face off thing a while ago just so they can set this off. Like they've never even touched each other, Becky and Rhea. Please correct me if I'm wrong because my memory sucks.
Yeah, I don't think they've touched each other.
Yeah, but like Sean, I get what you're saying. I really, really do. If Liv Morgan wins the Rumble, and I will not be mad, like at all, because she was one of the two last women in the Rumble this year, right? It was Rhea and Liv Morgan, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, okay. People in the chat correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I suck. Yeah. And Liv was number 2. Like she really.
Okay, so Corey says Nia's probably there to fill a spot while seeming like a viable contender until someone who is actually the one that takes the belt. Either that or Nia might be a transitional champ. That's his speculation. There's no way in hell that I put that belt on her. That's just me. But anyways, so what I was talking about Paddington Bear. Here's from the classic Oscar-winning film Anaconda. Goodfellas. The Breakfast Club.
Oh, sure, of course.
And Silence of the Lambs. Hello, Clarice.
Oh my God, he even got the eye positioning right.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, every day on Twitter, like he does it every day. He says until he forgets. That's what he's doing. He's gonna Photoshop it like in a movie or I believe a TV show. His username is @J THECHOU. So that's his username. I'll put it in the chat. But he's great. I check it out every day. It's fantastic.
The thing, like my problem here with Nia is that like WWE have recently done good on building people like Raquel, and so because as of late she was the beautiful woman with the big back, like that's what they told you all the time. But then they gave us, a reason to care about her. And now I'm pretty sure that Nia is gonna squash her.
Don't like it. Don't like it at all.
Yeah, like that's it. And I'm just wondering. That's what I'm doing.
Before Jade signed, Jade's my favorite to win the Rumble. I think she's probably everybody's favorite to win the Rumble now.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, but before that, I had Raquel winning the Rumble. That's who I had because I thought they were gonna just go that route. Okay. But anyways, we move on to the Tegan. You wanted to talk about the Tegan Knox Chelsea Green match?
Well, not the Tegan Knox and Chelsea Green match. I, as a whole, I just because we were made aware that Becky Lynch was the one to push for Tegan Knox getting an opportunity, and this is just another reason to praise Becky Lynch for me. That's just another reason because I've been wondering what Tegan Knox was doing all this time because I was wondering if she was injured or not because she was and then came back and then she was again. And, I was just, concerned. And then she was released and then she was brought back, but they did nothing with her. I kept telling you that I would have preferred if they brought her back to NXT and her having a run with the NXT title.
Yeah.
And now that she's actually competing for the NXT title with Becky, of course she's not going to win. I don't think so. I just thought that she needed to get, the reps in front of the NXT 2.0 crowd. I'm saying this in quotation marks because it's no longer 2.0. But you get what I'm saying. In the new era of NXT, because she was used to in a different style, previously on NXT Black and Gold. I'm glad to see her on my television. I hope that they end up giving her a character more, because right now she's, the awesome wrestler that can, stick up for herself. And this always pisses me off because they're like, a lot of the women in NXT were like that, because like Roxanne was the same. I feel, the really awesome wrestler that, oh yeah, I'm here, I'm happy to be here and everything. I hope that they do that, because I feel like Tyler Bate is the same in NXT, because he's one of the most awesome wrestlers ever. And then, you do nothing with them.
Yeah. The one thing too I wanted to bring up about Raw is I like how they're making Ivar look. They're making him look like an absolute stud.
They are,
like in a singles way. So that
because Eric's injured right now.
Yeah.
And they're doing whatever I'm glad that this is a good thing, because usually when one of the people in the tag team is hurt, they just bench them both.
Yeah.
And they make you forget about everything. So when they did it with Carl Anderson last week, like Luke Gallows is injured with a legit injury, and in kayfabe, AJ Styles was brought into a hospital because like they injured him, like they attacked him and everything, and because they didn't want him to have the match with John Cena at the pay-per-view. So naturally, Carl Anderson was going to be pissed about that, right?
Yeah.
Because like that's what normal people do. So naturally, Ivar here in this situation, he's going to go kick some butt because his tag team partner is injured and he does not want to be out of sight, out of mind,
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was you want to talk about
Gunther and Tommaso Ciampa actually main eventing Raw. This was a wonderful thing. I didn't care for the commercial breaks.
They still got a pretty good long match. So.
They did, and I'm happy about that. But I'm also happy that they give Ciampa this, because it was all over Twitter. Tommaso Ciampa got, the least viewed segment in Raw history, whatever. And I was like, people will make this out to be his fault, and this isn't. Because people who are familiar with Tommaso Ciampa's work in NXT, we're so in love with Tommaso Ciampa, and I am so incredibly in love with Tommaso Ciampa. I'm a huge mark for Ciampa. When he came back to NXT and he said Daddy's home, and he started calling the NXT championship, he started calling it Goldie again, I just cry every time, because like it makes me all warm and fuzzy inside. It's forever a dream match for me, Tommaso Ciampa and Cody Rhodes. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Like they're in ring style. I'm sure it's gonna do wonders. I hope it gets to main event a Raw, like, or a non so important pay-per-view. I don't know if they're ever gonna give Ciampa, the bigger spotlight. I'm not sure, because like he doesn't look that like their guy, and he really is. The way that he he's overcome so much, like injuries and everything, and his tag team partner disappearing all of a sudden. I'm happy that they gave him the main event. I will always prefer their previous match when he was still when Gunther was still Walter and they were fighting for the NXT UK Championship at a takeover. I will always prefer that match because it was one of the best matches I've ever seen, and it's Walter, and it was Walter in NXT. That's even worse. So yeah, the match was great. What happened after that we finally got a Johnny Gargano return. Please give him his old theme back.
Yeah.
Because people do not know what that song is. They do not pop because what you guys
that audience
did
was dead. Like they were like, who's that?
Yeah, and do you know why? Because they gave us Johnny Gargano with a different music and then they took it away. Like they didn't give us an opportunity to remember the song that he's coming to. And that's a huge miss. I'm sorry, but that's not how things are done. He's finally here, and hopefully we get to see a DIY reunion. I'm sad that they weren't eventually the ones to get those tag team championships off of Sami and KO. So they get to fight, like, eventually they'll get to be the one to dethrone Finn Balor and Damian Priest because it kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We do have a super chat from Pro Wrestling Podcast. I must ask you a question. Thank you.
You're the best.
So we kind of talked about it already, but from NXT, Dirty Dominic Mysterio defeated Trick Williams. Did you have anything else to add? Because we did talk about pretty much everything in that.
We did talk about that. But we have to point out the obvious that next week on NXT, this it's gonna be October 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the week when NXT and Dynamite will be running head to head because Dynamite does not want to compete with, what is it? Is it baseball?
Yeah, they have baseball on their network that night.
Yeah, okay. They do not want to compete with baseball. I've been told that this is a big thing.
Yeah, baseball been very good.
Yeah, okay. So the thing is that they're gonna have John Cena, Paul Heyman, Asuka, and Cody Rhodes on the show,
and probably the Undertaker now too.
Yeah, probably. Like that surprised me a lot.
It wouldn't surprise. Like I said earlier, it wouldn't surprise me if Jade's there too. It would not surprise me at all.
Yes, I will be glad if Jade is there. Cody Rhodes is there just probably to announce, a Dusty tournament, a Dusty Cup, a tag team tournament coming because they know they have that scheduled probably. I don't know I don't know what it is. Like I will always prefer hockey to baseball because I don't understand baseball. Like a dude hits a ball with a bat and that starts running. Like, what is that? And that's like people pass the ball. What is this? Like, and then he slides. What the hell is a baseball slide? Why does a baseball slide make you go there faster?
Because you're trying to avoid the tag, Maggie. You're trying not to get out. You're trying to get to the base.
What?
Well, when you get tagged if the baseball player has the ball in his glove and he tags you, you're out. Or if he has the ball in his glove and he has his foot on the bag or at least touches the bag with
Where does
glove.
he get the ball from? Wasn't the ball hit?
Yeah, but somebody threw him the ball, like on his team. So it's kind of
I do not
yeah,
understand.
it's really hard for me to explain without Well, just it's hard for me to explain. So,
That's
anyways,
I'm sorry.
people
I
aren't
not
here
get
for
baseball.
baseball.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not here for baseball, Rob. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
quit.
thank
If
God.
we could,
Um,
like, if we keep talking about this.
Yep.
Yeah. So, people are. You gotta stop erasing stuff before, like.
Oh, well, you were done.
I was not. Anyway, so a lot of people are like, "Oh, they're doing that because they're petty." I don't care. Like, fuck you guys. Like, what is this? Like, this is. I do not care. Okay, it's competition. Like, are you telling me that you're not gonna watch the show? Like, there's only one bad thing that's gonna come out of this. All of this, and this is that none of this, and I mean none of this, will matter next week on NXT. None of this. That's my number one complaint about this entire situation, because like there's going to be a lot of people on this week's show just so people will tune into this show and not on Dynamite, and none of this will matter next week. And this is the problem. That's like things not making sense and like not having proper storylines. This is the thing that bugs me in wrestling shows, probably. See, Dynamite's gonna have a crappy number next week, however they're gonna put it. Like, it doesn't matter what if the show is good. It doesn't matter if they book the most wonderful Dynamite that they've had all year. It doesn't matter. It's gonna get a crappy viewership because Tuesdays are normally for NXT.
Yep.
There are still going to be people who tune in Wednesday without them knowing that it was on last night, and they're gonna forget and everything. Like, the rest of the world that watches on Fight, they're also gonna tune in on Wednesday, and they're like, oh my god, it was last night, and like
Yeah.
it's gonna have a crappy number. And I understand, but I will always say that competition brings out the best of both sides, as long as it's healthy competition. No one's hurting each other and whatever. Like, that's absolutely fine. I honestly, I can't wait for next week. I'm sure the TK is gonna throw a lot of stuff at the wall, and I'm here for that. Like, we win. We
Yeah.
as wrestling viewers, we win all the time because we get to watch shows like that.
Yep.
And that's
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, moving on to AEW WrestleDream. What were your thoughts on WrestleDream?
I adored this show. I absolutely did. So starting from the top, let me just see all the matches. The 4-way tag team for a future AEW World Tag Team Championship match. This is shocking to me, because not only did the Young Bucks win, but FTR retained their championships versus Aussie Open, which means that we're getting Young Bucks and FTR number 4 like early again, after we've had the number 3, the third match.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of disappointed about that. I will never not want to see those two teams go head to head, but we just saw that like 2 months ago. And rematches after rematches after rematches was one of the things that pulled us away from WWE. We haven't seen this as much lately, and this is what's making their program more watchable. I will also always prefer, fresh matches, and there were a lot of fresh matches that could have happened here, but they didn't. I kind of feel like they're betting on the sure thing here, because you know that FTR and Young Bucks is going to get eyes on the product. But it's kind of like I'm gonna be psyched about the match. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, I just saw it live, but I just saw it.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah. Chris Statlander and Julia Hart wrestled to prove a point. Julia Hart's so good. We didn't get to see Mariah. I'm sure that a lot of people were disappointed about that, but I understand. Eddie Kingston and Shibata. Oh my god, I love the thing that Eddie does. He has, a killer match with someone. He wins the match, and then he immediately leaves the ring and gives the entire ring to the person who lost the match so that they can have their spotlight. Eddie does this a lot, and it's so great. Christian Cage and Darby Allin, they main evented the show. We got to see Adam Copeland, former Edge, come out. He made the save. I'm glad Christian won, by the way. Like, I wasn't ready for Darby Allin 15th TNT championship reign. Yeah. So Adam Copeland being in AEW kind of makes sense. I know that people are gonna be mad regardless, okay, on Twitter. Like, it's more than it's more than obvious now that people just don't give a crap if the wrestler is happy or not. They just want themselves to be pleased, and yeah. So that's kind of the bottom line. The let me just see the other one. Oh yeah, Brian Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. That's probably my favorite match of the year. When I watch matches that are incredibly emotional and gruesome and hurting me, I just start making incredible faces, like grotesque faces, and that's why I think that I'm gonna get this match gave me wrinkles. Okay, like I felt like my face was constantly in a specific position of and stuff, and just I'm like I mentioned on Twitter, my nephew is gonna ask me one day where I got those wrinkles from, and I'm gonna show him this match. That's probably what's gonna happen.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as like Edge being there, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Whatever's best for the wrestler, for him or her family, or whatever makes them happy, that's all they need to do. Whatever's best for them. They don't owe anything to a fan. They don't owe they just don't. They got to do what's best for them. If they're happy, I'm happy for them. That's the case. As far as like what Edge is going to bring to AEW, he's going to bring a whole set of matches that we haven't seen before, which I like. He's going to give people dream matches. The thing is that WWE, I will say this, WWE had matches they could have had him had that were still dream matches. I mean, there weren't as many, obviously, but there were still matches that he could have had. And I don't blame him for leaving, because for the past year, all we got to see him do was wrestle people in Judgment Day.
And
so
AJ
I mean,
Styles.
Yeah, and AJ Styles. So,
and that was a disappointing match, by the way.
Yeah, so it's like my thing is like, I'm glad the guy is happy. I'm glad he's going to do something he wants. The one thing that people need to understand, too, and if this CM Punk stuff happens, it just shows that they're not ever officially gone. It's just, they're official. You know what I mean? They're gone for a long time, but they eventually come back. Edge will be part of this company forever. He's already tied to it forever because he's a Hall of Famer. He'll be back. Him and Christian are going to get inducted together. If the Dudleys are inducted together as a tag team and the Hart Foundation is inducted as a tag team, you bet your sweet ass that the that Edge and Christian will be inducted as a Hall of Fame tag team. It will happen. It might not happen in the next 5 years, but it will happen within 10 years.
It will happen. It will happen.
And I mean, that's just the way it is. It'll happen. The same thing for the Hardys. It's going to happen. They'll be back. Now, I know if you're thinking, well, like, I'm actually talking about a match. Well, yeah, I mean, then I understand why you might be upset, but you shouldn't ever be upset at the wrestler where you're losing your shit for it, or throwing them under the bus and saying that they spit in the face of the company. They don't owe anything to the company. They
spit on people who don't want to be cool.
Yeah, they fulfilled their contract. They signed for what they were offered. It's the same thing with that person. Like if you work at a store or a company, you have your rights. If you sign a contract for somewhere and it expires and you want to go work at wherever, that's your right. You get to do that. What's the difference between you and him or you and her, whatever, like it's your right. You get to go do that. So more power to Edge, Adam Copeland. As long as he's happy, I'm happy. Will I miss him in a WWE ring? Absolutely. Am I happy that I still get to see him in a ring? Absolutely. Because I would rather him wrestle than not see him at all. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like that's how people should look at it. And
now that he's in AEW, like this question was raised on I don't remember on which Fightful stream, but this question was raised and I couldn't help but laugh. Do you think that Adam Cole, Adam Page, and Adam Copeland will have a segment together, getting interviewed, and then Roderick Strong comes out and Adam?
That's what I want to happen so bad. Is he's doing the Adam thing, and like Page comes out like, "What do you want?" No, not you.
Not you.
Oh, then like he goes, Adam, and he's like, "What? No, not you either." Like Adam, and then like somebody else named Adam just shows up. Yeah, how can I help you? Just damn it, where's Cole? He's out with like surgery. Just something like that. We're just losing.
Just something like that. Yeah, because like Adam did have at the start of Dynamite, they did have a segment. Renee Paquette was interviewing Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, and that Adam Copeland came into in the shot. Kenny Omega doing the nudge, not so subtle.
Yeah,
you got me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah,
everyone popped. That was a clever one. All the Canadians in that shot, like all the Canadian activity, like I felt like bathing in maple syrup. So
got kind of sticky there.
Yeah, Dynamite had a weird vibe. What do you think of Dynamite? Because for me, it had a really weird pace. It didn't feel like a normal episode of Dynamite.
I don't know what it was. It was weird. It was a weird episode.
I'm not referring to the weird sound problems that TBS had. That Adam Cole segment in Roderick Strong's house was hilarious, by the way. Yeah. The Kingdom, they're not getting their flowers enough.
No.
Matt Taven is a sweetheart with the giraffe.
Yeah. Melvins. They're all Melvins.
Yeah. But everyone that doesn't like the Kingdom are a bunch of Melvins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of Melvins at TBS with audio issues.
Yeah.
But
the thing that happened on this show, Rob, do you know what it was?
Yeah, some guy named Wardlow showed up.
Yeah, Wardlow came back. Yeah,
and you knew that based off you said your Twitter mentions.
Yeah, that's funny because I get up, you hadn't texted me anything.
I did. I put it. I didn't put it in DMs, but I did know. I did
not DM. No. I'm talking about DM. Yeah. And you hadn't texted me, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And I unlock my phone, and I immediately see, the badges on my on my app, and I'm like,
stinking badges.
We do not need no stinking badges. And I was like, yeah, okay, Wardlow's here. Like either Wardlow or AJ Lee, but I'm gonna say Wardlow. Like one of those two things, like hopefully.
Yeah.
And I just put on the show, and we see in the ring there's Griff Garrison, but like who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
Yeah. Did you? By the way, did you see? Okay, go ahead and talk for a second. I'll find the tweet.
Did I see everyone tweeting?
No,
Who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
I'll find it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So and his opponent, and we hear the wolf, and I'm like, oh. I was just so excited, and I'm like, here we fucking go. And Rob, he looked pissed. He looked so mad. Like he got in the ring. He started power bombing Griff Garrison a bunch, like 5 or 6 times. I like lost the count because I was slippery. And then after
oh, Jesus, man. God.
And like after the match, he immediately got out of the ring and went through the crowd. And this is the time where I educate our audience, my people, about Tom Hardy. So, of course, I'm gonna make a reference, a Tom Hardy reference when I'm talking about Wardlow. One of my favorite Tom Hardy movies, Warrior. I don't care. Thank you.
No, I'm just...
So Warrior, if you haven't watched this film, go ahead and watch it. Kurt Angle is in this movie also. So Tom Hardy is playing this former Marine who wants to win the big UFC fight that determines who is the best fighter in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So actually his gimmick is that no one knows where he comes from. Like no one knows who he is. Like they only know his name, Tommy Reardon. Like that's the only name that they know. So the thing there is that like he goes to the ring with no music, with no trainer, like anything. He goes into the ring. He beats up people in less than 10 seconds. Then he, like without even the referee lifting his hand, like declaring him the winner, he pushes the cage door, he goes out and like goes out the back. This is my immediate thought. And I'm like, oh my God, he's Tommy Reardon from Warrior. That's exactly what he did. And I'm like, yeah, okay, like of course I'm gonna compare two wonderful men with each other. That's kind of my thing. But I love this because if you're a Wardlow, why wouldn't you be so mad?
Yeah,
because
no
like
shit.
you had you got screwed out of your championship. Like you were never seen ever again. And like Tony Khan has the audacity to say, oh, well, Wardlow's gonna appear when the time is right. The time was right 10 months ago. Okay,
Yeah.
like the time was right so many months ago. Like Wardlow, like I feel like his face run wasn't the thing that we were looking for. When he screwed MJF over, that was a wonderful thing because MJF was a huge heel, and everyone didn't want him to win. Also, it was against CM Punk. So, like, CM Punk was one of the biggest baby faces in the company at the time. So, naturally, this is the way they went. Wardlow got his thunder stolen from him with the whole MJF, stuff.
I like your airplane. Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, I was doing it now. Well, that's what he did in the ring.
I know. It's just funny that you did it too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was pissed off because this was supposed to be Wardlow's moment. I made a drink for the guy, and like he powerbombed him a bunch, he beat him, and that wasn't even the story. Like this, it wasn't about him. Then that's like MJF went full circle, with the Punk stuff and everything. But like that's fine. But if Wardlow wants to go on a heel run, that's absolutely fine with me. But here's the thing: women will never boo you, sweetie. We will never boo you.
So this is what I was going to say about the Brody Lee's wife, Amanda Huber, what she tweeted. She goes, "Just a note: if you see me at a show and shout out hello, and then tell me I love Brody, and I reply he's a monster, I'm talking about my son, not my dead husband. I hear Brody and I automatically assume my son. It always dawns on me after the fact when they look horrified." That popped me because like I could just see her doing that too. Like he's a monster.
Yeah.
But no, that popped me. That was good.
I know.
Yeah. So
those are my thoughts about Wardlow being back. I'm anxious to see what they do with him. It feels like he's been gone for a year. I know he hasn't, but that's how empty my soul feels. So thank you for being back, sweetie. Please do something with your hair because it looked really weird.
Yeah. Bullet Club Gold said some stuff about MJF and how he had some explaining to do. Max came out and led the crowd in some chants, and he offered to fight Bullet Club right then and there. They bail out, but Jay White shows up from behind and hits the Blade Runner. And then he walks.
He left with his title, and then like he bullied him into accepting a match.
Yeah.
At Full Gear for that championship. I hope that this is the main event. Obviously, this has to be the main event. I feel like MJF hasn't defended that championship at all. The last time that he defended it was at All In, right? Was it All In?
I honestly can't.
Did he defend it All Out?
Let's see. I'll look while you go ahead and.
Yeah. I just like that whole storyline with MJF and Adam Cole is one of the hardest things in wrestling right now, and I get this. But the fact is that now that Adam Cole is injured and that he has to go into surgery, of course,
Grand Slam.
Against who?
Samoa Joe.
Oh,
I knew it was like he wrestled somebody.
Yeah, I knew that I was forgetting something.
I knew that. Why could I not remember it?
Yeah, and this isn't a jab at the match. The match was absolutely wonderful. This is a jab at me having a shitty memory. Yeah. So Adam Cole needing surgery. They pulled the trigger on the 5 people attacking Jay White.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's that those are all people hired from Bullet Club Gold just so they can make MJF think that this is Adam Cole?
I thought so at first. But
what?
I thought so at first.
Yeah, so like they were trying so that they can try to split them up. But like now that they're not actually I don't know if Adam Cole's gonna be on television after surgery. Is he gonna be on television after surgery?
That I don't know. They haven't said.
Yeah. Okay. So it all depends. If we're still gonna get whether we're still gonna get him on television, because they can further storylines with him there and him not wrestling. I do want to see what happens with those Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, though. Like, I'm anxious to see what happens there.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, Sean's report on that CM Punk story is going to be coming out pretty soon here, probably within the next 10 minutes, I'd say, if that.
Yeah.
So just so people know that. Chris Jericho, Kenny.
Will Hobbs joined the Don Callis family, which is weird. I did not expect that. I was almost sure that Will Hobbs was gonna get managed by CJ.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna see that at all. So this is weird. So Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega defeated Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. I hope. Hear me out. I hope that Don Callis, after the match was over, because of course Kyle Fletcher was the one to get pinned, and Don Callis started bashing Kyle Fletcher on commentary. I hope that this is a way of Will Ospreay leaving the Don Callis side of everything, because him being there makes no sense to me, Rob.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this because I'm a mark for Will Ospreay and hate Don Callis right now. I seriously see no reason for Will Ospreay to be joining Don Callis. It was okay for Don Callis to push Will Ospreay towards Kenny Omega just because Don Callis wanted Kenny Omega to suffer. That's fine. But why continue to be a thing after that? That's the weird thing for me. And I just don't I don't care for these two to be on the same side. He can still be a heel and just not be there. I felt like Don Callis bashing Kyle Fletcher on commentary had a reason. Because we all know that Don Callis is a mastermind in wrestling. I seldom think that he does things, just that will not matter in the long run.
Yeah, not a fan. No, he's for his character, he's great at what he does because you can't stand the guy. So yeah, I don't know. We know that Kenny Omega in the long run is going to come out on top of this, that's the thing. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. It's just, I'm ready for him to beat the hell out of him. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Don Callis, just beat him down, just destroy him. So Timeless Tony Storm over Sky Blue.
Yeah, what do you think of Timeless Tony Storm? I feel
she's great.
Tony Storm is doing the work of her career right now. I'm so happy with this. She's so great.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. She's awesome.
I kept wondering how can she get even more over, and now she did. I saw people, drawing comparisons with, with Chelsea Green's Hot Mess, and I can see that. I can, I definitely can. And I adore Chelsea Green as Hot Mess, and of course I adore Toni Storm here right now. She's doing excellent work with RJ City. The more RJ City I get on my television, the more the better.
Yeah.
I'll always be happy about that. And those two work in great together. I will not mind if RJ City is the personal interviewer for Toni Storm, forever and ever. She gets a personal interviewer. That's absolutely fine. Let's see what happens in the future, because she is so over that eventually she needs to have a championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. But after that, how do you build that character when she is happy? That's what I'm wondering, because I've said this on our show previously. This character for Toni Storm works incredibly well if she's not happy, and at some point they have to put a title on her and everything. And let me just say, a thing that is so over with the people being in the women's division. Now, please, Tony, can you do something with it? Please. We're not saying give a bunch of money to someone who isn't signed anymore because we like them. No, Tony, we're saying that we like someone that you're already paying. She's a part of your roster. Please do something with her. Like, it will cost you zero money because you're already paying her. Like, please do something great with the women's division. Thank you.
Yeah. No, for sure. And then we had Edge, or Jesus, I'm gonna do this forever. Adam Copeland made his AEW Dynamite debut. He called out his brother Christian Cage. He told Christian that he wanted to do one last run, and then Christian told him to go F himself. And
that was so good.
Yeah, there we go. Well, yeah, it was great. It was a great segment, but I mean, we knew that was going to happen after he got in the ring. I mean, there's nothing to it.
Of course.
It's going to be good stuff. And I liked how they tied in Sting to it. How this was who they looked up to, and I liked it. I liked how they did that. That was good. But
immediately the moment when they started, doing the concerto in that storyline, I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, just coming. Because do you think Roderick Strong inducts Adam Copeland into Next Strong?
Jesus, no.
Boo.
maybe on I can see maybe on being the BTE maybe, but that'd be about it. So, all right. So, AEW Rampage preview for tonight. Daniel Garcia, Jake Hager, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker taking on the Hardys and the Best Friends. You have Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander taking on Marina Shafir and Nyla Rose. Then you have the winner will receive a Ring of Honor World Championship match between Commandeer, Johnny TV, Penta El Zero, and Lince Dorado. And then for Collision tomorrow night, what has been announced, at least as when I wrote this, was FTR taking on Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Tony Storm versus Kiera Hogan. Adam Copeland will appear. I'm sure I don't know if they've announced other stuff yet, but that's what I got. And then on October 10th, AEW Dynamite, Title Tuesday in Independence, Missouri. Adam Copeland makes his AEW debut against Luchasaurus. You have Rey Fenix versus Jon Moxley for the AEW International Championship. Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson for the number one contender to the TNT Championship. Saraya versus Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's Championship. Powerhouse Hobbs versus Chris Jericho. And Jay White versus Hangman Page. I almost said change.
Yes, please. It's going to be a really wonderful show.
Tag titles are on the line on Collision. So,
yeah. Again, wonderful show. I wonder what Tony's gonna, add more to it, because they're going straight head to head with NXT. But like, both shows are gonna be interesting to watch. And me getting, when I wake up on Thursday morning, when I usually watch.
When I wake up.
And when I watch Dynamite, I'm gonna be free, and I'm like, what the hell do I do with my life now? So.
You're going to have a few hours to kill. There you go.
What?
I said you're going to have a few hours to kill.
I'm probably going to sleep more.
There you go. Look at you.
Hopefully. Yes.
Maggie,
what is this anyway?
Plug your shit.
Guys, you can follow me on X, Twitter, or whatever at Maggie_IK, and on Instagram at Maggie.IK. This week, SP3 and I recorded the Orange County DOC seasons ranking. It'll be up on Fightful Overbooked at some point. We still haven't talked about when actually, but please check us out. We had so much fun after we recorded, the character rankings, for the different characters in the show. So we did it on or for seasons. Also, then afterwards I hopped on True Heel Heat for the Fastlane prediction show with FP3 once again. So you can go ahead and check us out. Please subscribe to Fightful Select. Thank you.
Yeah, you can follow me at Rob Wilkins on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram at FightfulRob and on Threads at FightfulRob. I did my own review of every video on Pornhub, and did them in order of my preference. So every single one through 100 million. So go check that out. Sorry, that's not even that funny. I was trying to make a joke, trying to make you laugh. It didn't work. Yeah,
that's a lot of ranking.
Yeah, it was. I kept going until it finished. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, I got nothing. But you know what, Maggie? You know what I really did is I made the
sacrifice.
I keep thinking that the water bottle is gonna fall, but it never does.
Maybe one day. Anyways, guys, we appreciate you tuning in. We went an extra 25 minutes today, and we want to say thank you so much for tuning in. It was an interesting show. It was a fun show. Tomorrow we will be on Fightful Select for the WWE Fastlane pre-show at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Central. So I want to say thank you. Hopefully you can check that out, and hope you have a great day. And we will talk to you soon. Peace out, everyone. Maybe.